What's this?
Hello, welcome back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Torment Tides of Numenera. We are still scattering and scampering and just moving around town, getting stuff handled, getting things done, figuring stuff out. It's pretty good so far. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you all have as well. And we're going to go here and we're going to talk to Kellinor and Paja. Paja? We'll say Paja. Why not? This couple stands together, their shared gaze fixed away from you. No words pass between them. Instead, they share a silent language of tenderness. Their bodies turn subtly toward each other, forming a private space between them. His hand reaches for hers, and without looking, she claims it. Still looking past you, they smile together. His is a curving line carved in oak. Hers as unabashed and radiant as a lantern on a starless night. Turning, you see the object of their attention, a young boy darting between the stalls and playing in the dust. Each distant, exhilarated shout widens their respective smiles and tightens their grip on each other. Harem has an interesting vocabulary. Where did he learn those words? Paja and Kellinor glance at each other. You know children, Paja says with a brief, unconvincing laugh. Mine's like an open bag, catching every bit of truth that gets thrown their way. Pay him no mind. Is that your son? Yes, he says firmly. He's still watching the boy, but a wary stillness has spilled into his posture. All right. She swats his shoulder, and there's more punch than playfulness in it. Not yet, she says. We adopted Jacherum, and we're waiting to see how he feels about that. Aren't we, Kellinor? His eyes flicker stubbornly, but he does not respond. Well, why did you decide to adopt? Smooth, kid. That's just the kind of thing people like talking about with strangers. Oh, I'm not embarrassed, Paja says, eyes gleaming. We love telling the story. Well, Kellinor and I, we've been together for how long? Years, Kellinor says, a glint in his eye. And we knew we wanted children, so we tried, and tried, and tried a lot. Some days, I barely had time to put my clothes on before Kel took them off again. Golly gee. Boy, howdy. I think I've heard enough. Interesting, go on. Paja raises her eyebrows, but continues. Well, there was poor Kel, practically falling asleep on the shift, forgetting his trousers half the time, and me with nothing to show for it but a glow on my cheeks. Clearly, we were working with a barren field. Or faulty seeds, Kellinor adds, deadpan. Does run in the family. So we decided to find a child who needed a home rather than getting old trying to make one of our own. Paja says, that answer your question? More than adequately. Sorry, I'm going to need more details. Nope, more than adequately. Alright. I thought so, Paja says with a wide grin. We get asked this question a lot, and finally we found that being a bit explicit about the process made the questions just, well, melt away. Got what you asked for there? Eligern says, chuckling. Well, what brings you here? Jacherum likes it. Kellinor says, the stern expression around his stern eyes softens somewhat. We don't have much time between shifts, Paja explains. Or money to spend on fripperies? Sure. So we bring him to the market when we can and watch him play. It's better than a night at the theater. Ha ha ha. Kellinor raises their clasped hands and kisses each bruised knuckles. Or kisses her bruised knuckles. Where did each got it? It's fine. Okay, so let's go. That's fine. What if we talk to Kellinor specifically? Is it going to be the same? Yep, same. Okay, so let's see. We've talked to everybody except for this dude. We haven't gone down the hole yet, which I hope we don't have to. And the genocide over here, maybe? And maybe some performers and other various things on the outskirts. But for the most part, we've talked to pretty much everyone. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's finish up our babbling. I think it's going to be fine. Did we finish up with Zeophi, the sculptor? I think we did. Who and where are the Dendra O'Hara again? A pack of damnable corpse gobblers with pretensions of mysticism. You can find them in their chapel in the underbelly, okay? And have you made any progress? None. I need to know who the victim was. What drove him? Without that knowledge, how can I capture him in stone? Alright, so that's fine. I guess we'll talk to the slaver guy here, Tol Magur. As you approach, the wild-haired woman, okay, it's a slaver woman apparently, eyes you speculatively and whispers something to her companions. They burst out laughing, and a slight smirk plays about her lips. A breathing mask dangles from a cord around her neck, and you can see where it has cut permanent grooves into her face. She ruffles her hair, messing it still further, okay, and sings out, "Come to buy a slave, cast-off. If you've come to me, you must want something of the sort." How do you know that I'm a cast-off? It's going to be the tattoo, isn't it? The tattoo. I've had dealings with your kind before. I know about you. She rakes her fingers through her hair. If anything, the motion serves to obscure her vision even more. So, cast-off, I have information you might want. Of course, it comes with a price. Okay. What kind of information? You think you'll get it from me that easily? I don't think so. I know your type, you cast-offs. Not a one of you can be trusted. I give you this information, you're gone before I can collect my price, so you'll forgive me if I decline to say outright what secrets I hold.
I'll remember that.
Okay. One of my wards has run off. She's taken a head wound, not my doing, and I've been watching after her. I don't know where she's gone, but I suspect she's headed to the cliff's edge. Plenty of other urchins clamoring about the place, and she'd find it easy to blend in. Sadly, my troop and I are detained here, so we cannot go ourselves. She's a scrawny child by the name of Rien. Head wound, but it's covered by dark curly hair. Has a little necklace around her throat, baubles about her guards. Go get her for me, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Answer a few questions for me first. Fine. What can you tell me about yourself? I am a slaver. I'm the last person you want to make an enemy. I've got a reputation for coming through, on my word. Nothing else need concern you. Can we talk about you again? What can you tell me about the Order of Truth? You want to deal with them? Be my guest. Those pompous Aeon priests are up by the government square. Think they can unlock the secrets of the past, but they're not focusing on what's most important, which is creating for the future. They say they're studying, learning, but the fact is they're not doing anything useful. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I've had some questions about the cult of the Changing God. Her lip curls. Delusional meaning seekers. They spend their time chasing their imaginary deity, ignoring what it means to be alive. Oh, what has he done now, they say. Can I tongue his divine arse? As if knowing his life makes theirs any better. Well, that's disturbing and gross. By studying his actions, they might be able to replicate his successes. I'm with you, they seem like whores to fame and power. If studying his life proves meaning to theirs, who are you to judge? They're misguided. The only way to understand life is to experience it. As if knowing his life makes theirs any better. Well, if studying his life provides meaning. Who am I to judge? Just another person watching those dim globes waste their lives on a fruitless pursuit. They can follow any fraud they like, totally up to them, but don't expect me to cheer stupidly on. Sorry guys, there was a thing. Oh, I don't want to talk about the Order of Truth. There was, my NVIDIA driver was like, hey, do this. I'm like, no. And it just didn't go away, so my apologies. It's gone now. I have some questions about the slavery in Sagus Cliffs. It's not so bad, not horrific. Almost no one sells them for parts anymore. Fact is, most of them go down to the Bloom, where they can work off their debt to society by opening a maw or two. It's not a forever thing, it's a punishment. Okay, I have some questions about the cliffs themselves. As someone who cares, I think the city's a sewer. Alright, well, farewell, I guess. I mean, we can go try to find his slave girl, I suppose.
Don't mind if I do.
I don't think I want to, but we'll see. Alright. Oh, there was something I wanted to do. Prada. I think I'm going to try to buy one of their things. I want to talk about your thought devices again. Sure, she pulls out the bird figurine, music, blah, blah, blah. Which one do you want to know about? Actually, I want to buy one. Prada flushes. I hate to say no, but I've had them since I was little. They're practically family. Aw. Alright, well, farewell.
Of course.
Figured I might as well try that. There was a chance that it wasn't going to do anything, but there was also a chance it might. Have we talked to Atero yet? I can't remember. Hey, you're back. Yes, clearly I am back. You need to know anything else about the city? I'm looking for a woman named Matkina. Have you heard of her? Heard of? He stammers. Everyone's heard of the White Death. Deadliest assassin in Sagus Cliffs. I don't know where she is, and I hope it stays that way. So who should I speak to in the marketplace about fixing complex machinery again? Oh, we already asked that. To ask something else. Can you answer some more questions about the city? Can you remind me where I can sleep? Alright, no, we're good to go. Alright, I will see you around. You think you will, but will you really? I don't know if there's anything else to do with this thing right now. We talked to Bellazar? Bellazar? I got nothing. Bellazar. This thin fidget Aeon priest shoots furtive sidelong glances at the creature in the nearby cage, while humming a nonchalant tune. When he sees that you're watching him, he flinches. Over the course of a few frantic breaths, shock becomes embarrassed anger, and he opens his mouth to shout at you. Then he spots Aligern at your side and sneers. Oh, look. You found someone to chase shadows with, Aligern. How much are you paying him to pretend your blather makes sense? He spits at your companion's feet. Aligern raises his eyebrows at the spatter of wet dirt. It's nice to be famous. Not that you'd know, because I sure as hell don't know you. He smirks in your direction. Typical Order of Truth acolyte here. Treating tasty gossip as evidence. Doesn't matter if something's true, so long as it's interesting. Maybe they should call it the Order of Trust. Aligern barks a laugh. Maybe. Most of them sure as hell aren't chasing the truth anymore. You turn back to Bellazar. That's what we're going to call him. The young priest is regarding both of you sourly. What do you know about that creature over there? What? Bellazar says, jumping. Then he takes a breath and struggles to sound offhand. It's a Numenera, a biomechanical creature, an information gatherer, in fact. He seems to calm down as he warms to the topic. They're dangerous, though. You can only speak to them at night. During daylight, they'll attack without provocation. Oh, that's good to know. Attacks without thinking, huh? Aligern says, smirking at Bellazar. You're practically twins. You're planning something, aren't you? Bellazar weighs the intent of your words with narrowed eyes. Are you with the Order of Truth, or just snooping? I'm a friend of the Order. Maybe I can help you with whatever you're trying. Yeah, let's go with deception. We have this dude who's pretty deceptive, I think. Let's go with 90%. Always a little bit of a chance to fail. Really? You can see the doubt on his face, but it quickly gives way to relief. I thought they would have sent someone by now. You'll have to suffice. I'm working on something dangerous and important. Bellazar glances around the plaza as if looking for spies, then beckons you to him. I have a device, he says in a hoarse whisper that can probably be heard from meters away. If someone can get close enough to affix it to the creature's cage, it will activate it and teleport the Numenera to the Reef of Fallen Worlds. He snickers and rubs his hands together, and then you'll study it? In a manner of speaking, the blue tide rises a tiny amount. Biomechanical organisms fascinate me, and Numenerans doubly so. I've never gotten to examine one close up, so, he lowers his voice, I want you to teleport the creature out of its cage, kill it, and bring me the memory organ. You want me to kill it for its brain? Isn't that murder? How does a teleportation device work? That sounds too easy. I just walk up, plant the device in the creature's cage, and activate it? Well, if it were that easy, I would do it. Bellazar says, but the creature's captors protect its cage, and, well, they've already caught me once, but they won't be watching for you. Bellazar rubs the back of his hand across his mouth. Tell them you wish to see the beast, plant the device when they're not watching, and if you get caught, don't tell them I sent you. He lowers his voice to a horrified whisper. They said they'd lodge a complaint with the Order. Yeah, we'd hate to damage your career. Well, how does the teleportation device work? I'm not sure, Bellazar admits, mouth twisting. My former colleague found it within the rusted casings of a war machine. I say former because when he activated it, he disappeared. We found his remains spread across the reef as if it was hurled at the ground with a great force. He looks briefly nauseous at the memory. Now, you might be thinking that the will perish in the same manner, and it might, but I wouldn't count on it. The creature can float, after all. So you want me to kill it for its brain? Isn't that murder? Please, Bellazar says, rolling his eyes so hard you're surprised you can't hear them squeaking in their sockets. It's a machine. It's not alive. If it makes you feel better, tell yourself you're deactivating a faulty device that will defend itself with lethal force. Are you sure you don't know how the teleportation device works? Not yet, Bellazar says. All I know is that when it is activated, it teleports whatever is attached to it to the reef of fallen worlds. I don't want to help you steal the creature. What? Oh, fine. Fine, he says. I can handle this myself. Let me know if you change your mind. Farewell. Yeah, that's, I'm gonna go talk to El Quinto and see if I can't tell him about what's going on. Settle down, buddy. Welcome back. An Aeon priest named Bellazar asked me to help him steal the Numenera. El Quinto's frown reappears and deepens. I've met the man, he says, all trace of easy humor gone. But the priests are a power here, and my partner and I are outsiders. I can't accuse the young man of anything without proof. If you want to help us, tell him you've changed your mind and bring his plans to us. Okay, yeah, farewell. Clearly he didn't see that coming, right? It's clearly we're very, very subtle. Very subtle. Yes, what is it now? I've changed my mind. I would like to help you. Thank the good... I mean, good. Excellent. Alright, alright, give me the device and I'll see what I can do.
I'll remember that.
Bellazar and the beast. Here it is, he says, handing it over, nervously licking his lips. Be very, very careful. I don't have another one. Teleport nodule. Okay, cool. Don't drop it. Oh, El Quinto! We've got something for you. Welcome back. Here to talk, or just listen. I have proof that the Aeon priest Bellazar wants me to steal the Nycthemeron. What is it? The Nycthemeron? Sure. The Nycthemeron, or the Nycthemeron. Ooh, we got some sort of weird cool thing there, like a purple dealie. Nice. Alright. El Quinto takes the device Bellazar gave you and examines it grimly. The young idiot. We caught him fiddling with the cage before, and I thought I'd scared him off. Apparently not. He sighs and pockets the device. I understand him better than I'd like. We build our lives on the kindling of our ambitions, and hope for a bonfire before something blows it out. El Quinto shakes his head. I made a study of this thingy, the Nycthemeron, during the journey here. If that little fool had only asked, I might have shared my findings with him. You still can. Let him learn from your experience. Boom! Hardly seems fair, he says, considering your words, but you're right. I'm not a young man, and it'd be good to know I helped someone along the path before I... He stops himself, then continues. Before I left town. He reaches into his bags and hands you a bundle of well-worn notes, then he glances over your shoulder. Trouble coming, friend. Bellazar is stomping towards you, and he looks furious. Good luck. I trusted you, he shouts. Frustrated tears shiver at the corners of his eyes, refusing to fall. El Quinto steps back to a discreet distance, an expression of sadness crossing his face. You think you've won? He hisses. One tear escapes and streaks down his bony cheeks. You think this is the first time I've ever been betrayed? Panting with rage, he jams a finger in your face. I'm going to tell the Order of Truth that you betrayed an Aeon priest on a secret mission. Everyone is going to know that you can't be trusted. Give El Quinto's notes to Bellazar.
making a note.
You hold out the notes, and Bellazar snatches them from your hands. As his eyes widen, you explain how you got them. This is more than I expected to learn on my own, Bellazar whispers, flushing. All that time spent on subterfuge, and I could have just asked. Thank you for everything. Thank you, he shouts at El Quinto. The seasoned explorer cringes and gives him a little wave. Bellazar hands you your reward, then wanders away, flipping through the pages. Sweet. I'm amazing. Ooh, we got an artifact. +1 training level in cipher use skill. Yeah. I thank you, Firu Ma, Spines of Selexis. Alrighty, we're going to go into our inventory at this point. We have accomplished yet another amazing goal. I feel pretty good about that. Alright, ornament. Wasn't that supposed to increase my cipher limit? Allows you to carry additional ciphers. Does it really? Because I feel like it doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay, I had to leave and then come back. Alrighty, cool. So we can hold up to 4 now. Nice. Okay, that's yet another thing that has been finished and done with. The Seer, the Traveler, the Levy. Does the Levy want to talk to me? Probably not. We will come back at night and speak with you, though. Good day to you, visitor. Good day to me, indeed. Let's go to, Filius. Filius. Hello, sir. A creature? Okay. A creature floats before you, hidden inside the bulk of its armor cloth robes. Okay. Unmoving and unmoved by your presence. Exactly who or what the thing is, man or machine, mutant or monster, is impossible to discern. Its glass face reveals nothing but your reflection. Its mechanical voice reveals nothing at all. You recall that this creature is known as a Filius, but you don't know anything else about them. Exquisite. The Filius grates, in greeting perhaps, or perhaps lost in its own inscrutable thoughts. Why, thank you, he replies. Good old Tibir. The Filius does not acknowledge his quip or even his existence in any way. Exquisite? No, the thing answers. It is not. For a moment that stretches uncomfortably, you feel the cold scrutiny of the Filius. The Filius upon you. At last it speaks. You ask, but the world rebukes. The Filius's implacable glass gaze bores through your skin and sees more than others do, and it seems to be seeking something from you. Do you know anything about the sorrow, about the resonance chamber built by the changing god? Tell me about yourself. Oh boy, we are super persuasive, let me tell you. Boy howdy. You've got a pretty good chance. Do the 90% again. Well, you know what? Why don't we bring you to the forefront, and we'll give you the 85%. And we were successful again? Very nice. The Avatrol whistles while it runs, a fearful sound, perhaps even for the Avatrol. Apparently this is what passes for effusiveness in a Filius. Do you know anything about the sorrow? What do you want from me? Please, tell me about yourself in a way that I can understand. No. Tidal Surge requires trained tidal affinity skill. Force it to tell you about itself. Oh, that's pretty neat. So what do you want from me? The Filius ponders slightly until at last it asks, when you faced Koro, why did you not step first with your left foot? I had no reason. Balance, probably. I assumed it placed me in a better position. I assume it placed me in a better position? The Filius accepts your answer in silence, and after a long pause replies, in his vault, the Cloven One reads from his great book to his disciples. He sleeps and awakens, and has forgotten his place in the grimoire. He begins anew. The book is a part of him. He has no legs and takes no steps. It is his own self from which he reads. It is his own self that is incomplete. It is his own self that binds him in the vault of his own mind. Aligern steps toward the Filius. You speak of Dian Dinenchut. I've got nothing. These names, it's fine. We're just going to call it Dinnen. We're just going to go Dinnen Ucht. The one who sits in the waters between the worlds. You've seen him. The Filius whirs and rumbles and lowers its head, perhaps in negation, perhaps in acknowledgement. Aligern growls in frustration. Well, that's the thing. What more do you want from me? You've been following me. In memory, cause follows effect. In rain, the colors run. A long rumble suggests that the Filius has more to say, but nothing emerges. What more do you want from me? When the Filius at last answers, its mechanical voice seems to creak. You did not accept your fall. When you are served the bitter root, will you eat? I will not, no. The Filius is silent, showing neither satisfaction nor dismay at your response. Why are you so interested in my choices? In its slow rumble, the Filius replies, they are not yours. Oh, but they are! Well, sort of. It's me. I'm controlling it. It's fine. Do you know anything about the sorrow, the resonance chamber built by the changing god? Silence lingers long until at last the Filius speaks. I know it shall be 3. I know the first cannot be trusted. I know one changes as you change. I know they seek an undoing. Its glass face storms, but the Filius says no more. Do you have any more questions? Its words so rushed they are almost jumbled together. The Filius asks, when you stood in the place of shifting floors, which way did your shadow fall? I was in a place of shifting floors? I have no idea. A long rumble echoes from inside the Filius' robes, changing at last to words. In the village of Thome, it is written, the eremite Aligizer descended deep into the darkness, for he could not bear to see his shadow. Okay, what do your questions mean? What do you want? Yes, the single flat word lingers in the air until the Filius adds, what is the answer? Perhaps the thing wants you to answer your own question. You want to know if I am drawing the sorrow to this place. You want to understand why I have done what I have done. You want to confound me. You want to know everything. You don't know what you want. You want to know if I'm drawing the sorrow to this place? The Filius accepts your answer silently, giving no clue as to what passes within its impervious robes behind its impenetrable mask. At last the thing replies, the word has died 100 deaths, and there is a pebble in your left shoe. You shake the pebble loose, having gotten something, at least, from the conversation. Do you have still more questions? No. Well, fare thee well. As you step away, the Filius swivels to keep its glass face trained upon you. Well, that was weird. Like, really, really weird, but fine. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll talk to the performer, the children, and anything on the western side that we haven't quite cleared out just yet. And then I believe at that point, folks, we're probably going to go either into the underbelly, which is possible, or... oh, there's a mutant over here. We may also come over here and talk to various people on this side. I don't know. We'll probably stay on this, make sure we talk to everyone before we leave, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can gather and gain here, and I don't want to skirt anything that may end up giving us an advantage or giving us some indication of what is going on in the story. The story seems pretty straightforward in some ways and still very cryptic in others, so it's a little weird. It's an interesting mix. I like it. I'm having fun with it. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, and I'll see you in the very next episode. Until then, my name is Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.